Is your world flat or round? Dr. YouTube wants to know.
Or do you know personal experience?
Hello, Stephen. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Stephen?
Well, thanks. I'm well. So, I wonder if you could expand upon this in a non-spherical fashion.
Well, recently, if you've seen it or not, there's a growing group of people who are doing experiments coming forward and stating that the Earth is a flat and motionless plane.
That's the expansion.
I might sound crazy, guy, but it's flat, guys.
And so it's motionless and it's flat. And do they have any idea how thick it is?
That's an interesting question, but no, like the Russians have dug about 8 miles deep, and that's as deep as anyone has ever been.
Right. And where's the center of gravity? And look, I was fine with unusual questions of the next guy. I'm just sort of trying to wrap my head around it again in a non-spherical fashion. And where is the center of gravity in this on this flat plane?
Well, in our motionless plane, there is no need for gravity. We have electromagnetism, attraction between forces attracting one another.
So is it that we are magnetically attracted to the Earth, and we're magnets not? Isn't that gravity is not part of the equation, right?
Yeah, it's an electromagnetic universe, not a gravitational universe.
Oh, okay. So now, do we orbit the sun?
No. The sun, stars, and moon orbit us.
Okay, and Mars.
It makes sense.
So it's Earth-centered solar system, and the Earth
In a world in which you could change your own world, I'm going to change mine.
Yes.
I'm going to go from being poor to rich by my actions.
Surrounded by Antarctica, like a pizza dish.
So Antarctica is like Saturn's rings around the flat thing, right? That's the very edge?
Yeah, Antarctica is the edge of the world.
Right, okay. And so when you fly, when people believe that they're flying around the world, what happens?
You can fly around a circle.
But if they say that they're heading in one direction relative to magnetic north,
yes.
If they're continuing to go east, and then they end up back where they started?
Yes, east and west is only relative to magnetic north. Compass is only point north.
Oh, so they're flying not
Two very smart guys.
around the world, but in a circle around the North Pole, which is at the center of the flat Earth.
Yes.
Okay. And so this, of course, requires some challenging reorganization of our spatial orientation, which, I'm fine with. I mean, I'm asking people to reimagine society without a state and ethics without a deity and so on. So, again, I am fine. I'm sorry?
I certainly agree with you on all the anarchist qualities of what you've been talking about for a long time.
Yeah, it may not seem like a ringing endorsement to some of the listeners, but that's as it may be. So, why is there a deity involved in this formulation?
Well, to me, I don't really ascribe to any religion in particular, but after finding out what I know now, I have come from being an atheist to believing in a higher power.
There is a higher power, guys. Or I'm a superhero. Because when I was in prison, when I would pray, when this dude was going to get killed, he was going to get killed, guys. There was no getting around it. Shit started. If this guy didn't get killed, a gang would have lost its credibility, and they were the AB. You think they're going to lose their credibility, the AB? No. So when the doors opened and the guy was supposed to be killed by the AB, we prayed, and it was like it never happened. Okay, we walked out of that cell and everybody forgot. So yeah, he answers prayers.
The moons that we can see that are of any reasonable size, sort of above asteroid size, tend to be spheres, right? So we have, as far as we can tell, according to this hypothesis, it's a unique position to be the only flat rather than spherical large mass object in the universe. Is that fair to say?
Well, in our model, we don't believe in things that we can't see and verify for ourselves.
Nice.
You know,
Nice.
like we don't really believe that anything that NASA says, for one matter.
Nice. Nice.
You don't believe anything that NASA says.
No, we only believe things that we can verify.
Paperclip, guys.
It can be called NASA.
Well,
No.
they were started with Nazis from Operation Paperclip. You know, Warner von Braun and
It's true.
other Nazis.
True, they're still alive, guys. They didn't never die.
To the
Their kids
connection.
are here somewhere. Probably
There's
devil
uniqueness
worshippers.
In this cosmology, there's a uniqueness to the world, and that the world is flat like and round like a dinner plate, rather than spherical. Is it your contention that the other celestial bodies are not spherical?
No, they're round.
Well, the celestial bodies
Well.
are like in question right now.
Like
If
marbles.
you take a high zoom camera and you zoom in on Venus, like
Huh.
somebody has recently, it certainly doesn't look like what you'll see from NASA, for one matter.
I mean, I had to look at Venus when I was younger. I bought a telescope when I worked, and it did appear to have little crescents, you know, the way that the moon did, but of course much smaller.
Yeah, telescopes are curved. You know, the lens is curved, like convex.
Well, except that, of course, it correlates with what we see with the moon, that the moon has crescents that would indicate a spherical reality. And
Yes, that's the difference between
with what we see.
maybe the moon's closer. Venus is a lot farther.
Fundamentally affecting the way that the moon looks to us, right?
The moon.
And listen, I'm sorry about. I know because whenever I put forward anarchy, and these are probably objections that have been examined, and at least some response in this cosmology has been replied to, because I don't want to be the guy who's saying, well, what about the road? When it comes to evolving society. So I appreciate your patience when I just sort of put forward my natural responses to.
That's what I do. I give natural responses.
Wrong
Dr.
with
YouTube
the
does.
whole world. It's a lot of
That's what this guy's
it's a lot
doing.
of investigation that it takes.
Giving answers off the top of his brain like
Okay,
I
so
do.
what's if you say that it's the curvature of the telescope lens that is causing the apparent crescent of Venus, then why doesn't the same effect happen with the moon? Because when I look at the moons with the naked eye, then I look at it through a telescope, as I did recently with my daughter, there's no distortion that's particularly visible. And also when I look at things fairly far away through a telescope, they don't appear to be distorted. So why would a distortion be introduced when looking at Venus?
Well, can I get to the moon first?
Sure.
The moon is a very interesting, mysterious thing. They say that you can only see one side of the moon because it is constantly spinning so perfectly that it only faces us in one direction.
Right.
And if you assume that what they're saying is correct about the moon, about the reflection of the sun, if you try and cast a light on its sphere, there'll be a hot spot. And when you look at the moon is equally illuminated from top to bottom on a full moon.
Well, yeah, but that's because the sun is 93 million miles away. It's not a flashlight pointed, 4 inches from an orange, right? So there's not going to be a hot spot if the light is that diffused.
Well, on our model, the sun is about 3,000 miles up, and we do have a lot of ways to confirm this.
And is that right that it's 32 miles across?
Yeah.
Instead of some people say, we'll call them the scientists, say that it's 840,000 miles across, but according to this cosmology, it's 32 miles across and only a few thousand miles away.
Yeah, the scientists throughout time have constantly changed their numbers. Like the distance to the sun has changed dramatically to fit their model, not to measure what it is in reality.
What is it? I mean, from when I was a kid, it's been 93 million miles, or 8 light minutes. Where has it
I'm going to cut off short here, guys. Leave down below a message of what you think.
So on. But
If you like this video.
use geometry on Earth,
And
you can measure the distance to the sun.
I would like to do this because he calls it right off the top of his brain.
And it's a few thousand miles away. So the sun is closer than Australia.
Like up.
Yeah. From Canada, right? So horizontally, sorry. So horizontally, across the flat dinner plate, Australia is further away than the sun.
Yes.
side of the Earth. Is that right? Oh no, the sun spins. Is it like a dangly ball from a pole that it spins around? Because it can't go around the other side of the Earth, right? Because when you phone someone in Hong Kong and it's dark where you are and it's nighttime where you are, it's light in Hong Kong, which would, to me, do something to support the sphere hypothesis. Sorry, go ahead.
There's a lot of different variations in time zones throughout the year. You know, like Alaska will have much warmer temperatures overall than Antarctica, even though with the tilt, the supposed tilt, it should be facing the sun. And Antarctica has, temperatures of under like 100 degrees. And Alaska is much.
Well, hang on, sorry, I don't want to get into temperature just yet. I'm trying to sort of picture. So I'm on a flat dinner plate, and I'm up. Let's say I've got ham and eggs and bacon and a smiley face, and I'm up around sort of the top.
All right, guys. Finish this. Guys, you have to go to the Flat Earth Conspiracy Debate. Yes, really. Make sure that you give the guy a thumbs up and subscribe to his channel. Okay? And we'll continue this debate later. Like, subscribe to I'm Dr. YouTube. I'm trying to get my Gmail YouTube up, so the doctor will get right back to you guys, all right? Like, subscribe, say something to Dr. YouTube. Later.